In 2025, India's total military spending is projected to reach $90 billion. It is a staggering figure, yet it accounts for roughly 2% of the country's total national budget. This chart compares India's military allocation to Pakistan's entire federal budget of $67.5 billion. This gap is recent. Trajectories diverged sharply after 2016 border conflicts and the Baramulla attack, triggering India's rapid military expansion. Any attempt by Pakistan to match this level of spending dollar for dollar is a mathematical impossibility. It raises a difficult question. If they cannot win a traditional arms race, why are they attempting to compete at all? The financial reality inside Pakistan is dire. The government is currently negotiating a $7 billion loan from the International Monetary Fund, simply to avoid a national default on its existing debts. This economic crisis has led to severe cuts in education and healthcare. Yet, despite crippling domestic inflation, the government recently authorized a record 18% hike in its defense budget. This increase pushes military spending over the 3 trillion Pakistani rupee mark. It's the largest single defense allocation in the nation's history. For a nation on the brink of default, diverting these massive sums away from its citizens suggests a survival strategy that assumes the next war will look very different from the last. The era of the massive, multi-year ground war, the kind of conflict seen in 1971 or during the Kargil crisis in 1999, is likely over for the subcontinent. A long-term war requires economic endurance that neither nation can currently afford. A protracted mobilization would destroy their respective development goals long before a clear victor emerged on the battlefield. There is also a global ceiling on this conflict. Analysts warned that even a limited nuclear exchange would release enough soot to damage the ozone layer and trigger a nuclear winter, catastrophic events that would impact the entire planet. Because the international community cannot risk a global environmental collapse, any future military engagement is under intense pressure to remain small, localized, and extremely brief. India has already adjusted its tactical approach to fit this reality. Instead of deploying ground divisions, it responds to cross-border threats with precision strikes, localized bombings designed to neutralize targets without escalating into a full-scale war. To maintain this strategy, India relies on advanced technology like the BrahMos cruise missile, which allows for surgical accuracy from a safe distance. Pakistan is focusing its record 18% budget hike on a very specific set of high-tech assets designed to counter this doctrine. The primary tool in this new arsenal is the Chinese-made J-35 stealth fighter. These jets are intended to intercept Indian aircraft and complicate the precision strikes that India currently conducts with relative ease. At the same time, Pakistan is investing in its submarine fleet to ensure a level of deterrence remains active in the naval theaters as well. An $11 billion budget cannot defeat a $90 billion military in a war of attrition. Its goal is much narrower: to act as a specialized tactical shield against precision strikes. For India, this development has a clear strategic consequence. The window for conducting risk-free surgical counterterrorism operations is beginning to close. By giving Pakistan the time to acquire these stealth upgrades, India's operational freedom is being severely bottlenecked by a much poorer nation that has identified exactly which technologies to buy. This chart contrasts Pakistan's military budget against its stagnant GDP growth, projected at just 4%. Maintaining this curve requires domestic sacrifice. As inflation remains unchecked, citizens' purchasing power evaporates, and the middle class steadily compresses. Pakistan may successfully purchase the equipment needed to force a tactical stalemate on the border, but the true cost of that shield is the irreversible sacrifice of its own citizens' future.
If you value clarity over chaos, explore more on Clear Lens X.